David and Laura Smith from Odessa, Florida, were celebrating their joint birthdays with their close friends, Michael and Sean Parker. This was a cherished annual tradition for the group. They had taken their boat out into the Gulf of Mexico, ready to enjoy the day under the sun. The excitement was palpable as they set off for what they expected to be another perfect birthday outing. The sky was clear, the sun was shining, and the water was calm, making it an ideal day for sailing. As the boat glided smoothly across the Gulf, David, an avid fisherman, decided to try his luck with a fishing rod. He was hoping to catch a nice fish to cook up for lunch when they returned to shore. Meanwhile, Laura and Sean enjoyed the gentle rocking of the boat and sipped on chilled champagne, while Michael prepared some snacks. The group was in high spirits, relishing the tranquility and the company. Everything seemed perfect. Hours passed as they basked in the sun and shared laughter. The sun had reached its zenith, and the birthday festivities were in full swing. David, feeling adventurous, cast his line into the water, eager for a bite. He was well experienced, and he hoped to reel in a good catch. However, the day was about to take an unexpected turn. Before long, David felt a tug on his line. He excitedly pulled in his catch, pleased to find it was a sizable fish. As he rushed to get his camera to take a picture of his prize catch, Laura posed cheerfully in the background. Little did she know, David's attention was fixated on something far more surprising. As David looked through his camera lens, he noticed something strange floating in the water. He did a double take, unsure of what he was seeing. The object seemed odd, and David's curiosity grew. He maneuvered the boat closer, cutting the engine to drift silently toward the object. The calm water and the quiet surroundings made the scene even more mysterious. The object bobbed gently on the water, and at first David thought it might just be a tangle of seaweed or some debris. But as they got closer, Sean, who had also noticed the strange object, squinted and saw what appeared to be long brown hair tangled in the waves. Panic began to rise in Sean's throat. Was it too late to help? The group leaned over the side of the boat, their hearts racing as they tried to make out what the object was. David's suspicion turned to realization when he saw limbs, 2 arms and 2 legs, lying still in the water. Sean's fear intensified. They needed to get a better look quickly. The object wasn't a buoy, nor was it a child. It was a small Jack Russell Terrier, struggling to stay afloat. The dog was wearing a bright orange life jacket, which made it easier to spot against the water. David's heart went out to the tiny creature. If it hadn't been for the life jacket, they might have missed it entirely. But what was a dog doing so far from shore? David and his friends were baffled by how the dog had ended up so far from land, but it was clear that the dog was overjoyed to see them. The little dog paddled frantically towards the boat, clearly exhausted and relieved to see potential rescuers. As soon as he spotted us, he started swimming over as fast as he could, Michael recounted. He reached over the side of the boat and gently lifted the small dog from the water. Once aboard, they carefully removed the life jacket and checked the Jack Russell Terrier for injuries. Fortunately, the dog appeared to be in good shape. The group was relieved to see that he was recovering well from his ordeal at sea. Sean conducted a thorough inspection and confirmed that the dog had no visible injuries. The big question now was, where had the dog come from? With no identification, how could they contact his owners? Sean quickly came up with a plan. She called the Coast Guard to report the situation and provide a description of the dog. The Coast Guard had received a report earlier that morning about a dog overboard. The description matched perfectly. The dog had been missing for 3 hours. The Coast Guard took note of the boat's coordinates and promised to send a rescue team. While waiting for the rescue team, David and his friends took good care of the dog, whom they named Max. He was understandably nervous and trembling from his adventure at sea. Laura explained he was shaking like a leaf. We wrapped him in towels to warm him up, and it took about 30 minutes for him to calm down. When the Coast Guard arrived, Max eagerly hopped onto their rescue vessel and settled in, looking much more at ease. The mystery of how Max ended up in the ocean was soon solved. Joey Thompson, Max's owner, had been on a boat trip when he stopped to inspect the hull. While Joey was out of view, Max leaped overboard, perhaps seeking his adventure. When Joey realized Max was missing, he was frantic with worry. He waited anxiously on the shore for news. When the Coast Guard arrived with Max and his new friends, Joey was overwhelmed with relief. Laura recalled the emotional reunion, saying, "It was a wonderful moment. It was heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. We all had tears in our eyes. Max ran up and started licking Joey's face, and we all cried. It was a truly touching experience." This rescue story is a reminder of how even the smallest acts of kindness can make a huge difference. Max's adventurous spirit and the swift actions of David and his friends turned what could have been a tragic day into a heartwarming tale of friendship and rescue. Sometimes it's the unexpected moments that show us the true value of compassion and bravery.